What's up, everybody? It's your favorite guy who believes that there's even a 1% chance you have to take it as an absolute certainty's favorite nerd.
That wasn't a jab. I really like that line.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Sheesh.
But tread carefully.
Alright.
And today we are looking at the Mezco 112 Armored Batman. And as far as I know, this was an SDCC exclusive, but my buddy Philip from Nerd Rage Radio picked one up at NYCC, I believe. So I'm not sure if they were selling them there as well, or if it was resold. I don't know the specifics. Doesn't ultimately matter. We're going to be talking about it here shortly. This is a different type of video for me because I usually don't do soft good clothing line, but we're going to talk a lot about that today. But we're going to set him to the side for a moment. We're going to talk a bit about the accessories, which are pretty awesome in general. So he comes with the display stand as a heads up for those who have not bought a Mezco product like myself. It comes with a little plastic bit in there, and you have to take that out in order to insert this. As far as I can tell, this is only in there to hold this covering on top of it to protect the surface of the stand itself. So thoughtful, but honestly I could have used a set of instructions with this thing for a couple of reasons. One of which being that this is a display stand, right? So that's pretty obvious, it's pretty self-explanatory, but it also comes with this bit, which I couldn't figure out. But I'm pretty sure what you do is you clip it onto there, and then it comes with 3 of these things. And you can put these on to here, and then it hinges here, swivels at the base obviously, and then it hinges here, 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 and then this swivels, and you manipulate this and you clip this onto the cape so you can pose Batman with his cape. We'll take a look at that right now. So admittedly, that's pretty cool. And that's just using the different armatures in order to get the cape in a dynamic pose. And yeah, I gotta admit, that's pretty tough. Real quick before we move on, just the clips themselves, there's 4 of them, and there's two different sizes, so that gives you some options, which is nice. And also, he's a heavy figure, so you have to keep in mind, even with the stand, you have to find kind of the balancing point because the weight can overtake it. He has 2 batteries that he comes with, and this I thought was nice, an extra screw in a very heavy-duty bag, I might add. And the purpose of that is you can pop the head off here, and underneath, let's see if you can see that. Can you see that up in there? See that little screw? You can unscrew that, take that out, put the batteries in, and then there's a switch on the back of his head. Can you see that? It's right underneath there, and his eyes do glow. Now, I know that Philip is planning on selling this guy, so I'm not going to risk doing any damage, but if I did damage the screw, at least he could replace that. He comes with a number of hands. We'll talk about the detailing at the end of going through them. But he comes with like 2 hands that you can kind of hold the kryptonite grenades with. So that goes in there, no problem. And then he has 1 trigger hand, and that holds the grenade launcher. Nice different textures of plastic, like the grip is a different texture on both, and then the other bits are different, and then some parts are dry brush, some parts aren't. It gives it a very dynamic look. And then the soft strap, and then this actually unclips and clips like like the real world one would. So that's nice. And can he hold it? It seems as though he holds it fine. But I feel like, I'm not sure where I feel like the finger might need to be down there, but it's up there. I don't know. Either way, you'll be able to hold it well. So then you have 2 kind of posing hands, like relaxed hands. And then you have another hand which can hold the other end of the gun. And then another holding hand, which I'm guessing will hold the spear. Oh yeah, and it's a softer plastic too, so you should be able to work it right in. The spear itself is die cast. The silver is painted and then washed. And then the tip is a translucent green plastic. It's really quite nice. Very good. He can hold this which is his grapple gun. And this is a softer plastic, and like we talked about, the fingers are a softer plastic, so he can hold it. You actually did scare me. So he can hold that, and then, are you getting ready to go to bed?
Good night.
Good night, baby. So you can hold that just fine.
I want you to give me a squishy hug.
Okay, one squishy hug, you got it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I hope you have a good time with your video.
All right, thank you. Then he has two separate tips for it, so to speak, and they're just silver, and they can plug in there like that, or you can use this, which has a separate plug and then a real string that's wrapped around that you could. The only thing with that is I don't know what you would do with it after that. But theoretically, you could do something with it. The grapple gun itself is just black plastic, dry brush silver, it looks like to me, and it looks quite nice. And the tips here are a softer plastic, so you don't have to worry about any breakage. So that is also well thought out. And then we'll talk about the detailing of the glove. Similar to the detailing of the figure in most respects, it's this black armor, dry brush silver with the gray underneath, and all the armor is sculpted, so that's good. So let's talk about the kind of detailings and elements to the figure first, and then we'll go through the articulation. So, soft goods, right? Two places. One is the cape, which is perfect. It's awesome. It is what I've been telling people they should be doing with capes since I've been doing reviews. It's a nice, heavy material, so it has the natural weight to sit on the back of the figure very ominously and threatening. It does sit up over this armor, but it's because it's bunched up. It's like, you know, you can tweak it, work with it, etc. until you get the right look that you're looking for. It's a very well done cape. It's a black cloth, but it is painted down at the bottom, or worn. I'm not sure how they did that exactly, but it's like a brownish, reddish hue down here at the bottom, and then it's all tattered. And look at those tattered edges. Like, I want to put this on the Mezco, the Mafex one. But yeah, very impressive. The armor is all this dark gray plastic that is then dry brushed silver very liberally, and it gives it a very worn and realistic look, which I like. The belt is painted gold. I don't think there's a wash on it, but it does look as though there might be just a very faint wash. I think there is a very, very faint wash just to get in those little nooks. And then the gauntlets are all painted gold, and that's cool, like the little bits of business there. And the face is painted, obviously the peach color, but the lips are also painted. I don't think there's any shading to the face. If it is, it's very subtle. Either way, it looks good. So yeah, the other piece of soft goods we have to talk about before we get started is the suit. And this is my problem with the Mezco 112 line. And it's just a style choice. It's my personal preference. But like, it's very hard to get the cloth stuff to look right, like the soft goods. And like, look at his pants. Like, it just has like a very like I'm wearing my dad's PJs kind of look. Like, it doesn't sit right. Like, his crotch is up in there, and this hangs way down there, so to speak. The material itself has all like the textures and stuff on there, and that's cool. It is stretchy. I'm guessing that is the due to the actual fabric that's used. Like, it has some give, but it's just so unnatural looking, even though it's more realistic looking. Do you know what I mean? So I just, stylistically, I don't care for it. If you listen to Nerd Rage Radio, which is like a podcast I do, I joke, my buddy's a big Hot Toys fan, and I jokingly call them dolls, but it's ultimately I understand that it's nice. It always comes across looking a bit funky to me. Not so much on the Hot Toys as it does here, but definitely here as well. And we're going to talk about the other problems that are with that as we go through, because some of it is articulation related. It's a double ball peg from the head into the neck. So you get down to there, up to there, and then the swivel. The neck itself is on a hinge. It feels like, it's hard to tell because I can't see it. I might be wrong. That may be all there is to it. The torso is feels like a single ball peg diaphragm joint almost, and that gets you the swivel at the waist to about there, which is very natural, so I'm okay with that. And then you get down, if you pull the belt down a little bit, up a little bit, but it's relatively faint. And then the shoulders, it's a disc hinge in the shoulder, feels like to a ball peg inside, like a SH Figuart, so you get a little bit of back and forth there. You get the hinge up to there. This armor is connected, and this is where it gets a little funky, right? So this shoulder piece armor is connected to this bicep piece armor, which is connected to the elbow piece, which is connected to the forearm. And then the fabric is all underneath. So you can get to there, and you can actually lift this up if you want and get it a little bit further. But it's not like the shoulder is connected to the shoulder, it's connected to the bicep. It's just, with the cape on and everything, I don't think it'll bother you, but it does look strange. So I don't know how to say it. And then you get the swivel too. And for the fabric, it's a really great range. You can see the fabric bunching up underneath there. Like it's a lot of give, which is nice. Bicep swivel right below the shoulder. It feels like a single hinged elbow, getting a little less than 90 degrees, and then a ball hinge wrist joint, so you get the swivel, and then you can get this in and out, and then you should be able to rotate this up, and get the up and down, or rotate the hand and get the up and down that way. So that all works really well. Same for the other side. The hips feel like just T-jointed ball joints. Like I don't feel a drop down in there, but I could be wrong. Articulation wise, you only get out to there because the pajamas bunch up there in the center, so you only get up to there. And then forward, you get almost 90 degrees. And then the thigh swivel is built in there. You can't really, like when it starts to look a little goof when you get to an extreme level, but that's realistic, so I'm okay with that. And then you get a single hinged knee from what it feels like also, and that is a little weak as well, just range wise. And then you get, it feels like just ball pegs for ankles. Yeah, that's what it feels like. So you get ankle tilt down to there, up to there, and then the rocker on the ball joint. So that's what that is. And there's the back of them. And it's still good. It's just like I feel like that the soft goods choice is ultimately a limiting style choice for a figure like this. So there he is with the Mafex Batman vs Superman Batman, a Marvel Legend, and the SH Figuarts Black Widow. So I'd say fits perfectly well in that scale. Maybe he should be a little bigger, but I think overall he's kind of fine. Final thoughts wise, it really comes down to the style choices, and it comes down to whether or not you like the style choices. Like if the soft goods doesn't bother you, and the soft goods is where the problems really are. There's problems aesthetically. Now it does cover joints and stuff, so there's also bonuses aesthetically, but there's problems aesthetically just in the way that the fabric actually forms to the figure, and it's also problems in terms of how the fabric bunches up or restricts articulation or things of that measure. But if you're okay with that stylistically, then you're not going to have a problem. But that's my main complaint here. There are some limited articulation ranges. I'm not sure if it's due to the fabric or the bulk of the figure, but I'm kind of okay with it. Not that I'm giving it a pass. I'm just okay with it with a really big, bulky figure. It just makes more sense that he wouldn't be as agile as a more streamlined, more slender figure. So for me, it ultimately makes sense. And those are my two big criticisms here. But that's really my only complaints. But there's a lot of bonuses. There's plenty of paint. The accessories are out of control. They're everywhere. They're smart. They're intuitive. They all add to the figure, which sometimes accessories don't do. These accessories do. I love the cape. I love the sculpt work. I love the paint. I love everything about this figure except for the soft goods. If it wasn't a soft goods figure, I would buy it. But the soft goods are it's just too problematic, especially in this scale, in my opinion. But outside of that, I love everything about it. So if you are okay with soft goods, I definitely 100% recommend this guy. You won't regret it, and I think that you'll have fun just posing the cape for about 2 hours, because I'm pretty sure I did. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.